Ladies and gentlemen, making their way to the ring, they are the undisputed tag team podcasting heavyweight champions of the world, Phantom and Soul, the Rasslin Bros Podcast.
Good evening, everybody. Y'all didn't think we were gonna forget about y'all this night of Champions Night. Figured we told y'all we bring y'all something every once in a while, even when you ain't expected. And guess what? I am your co-host, Phantom the Cook. With me tonight, always Soul the Interrogator. We ain't here for a long time, but we here for a damn good time about Night of Champions. Soul, what's up?
What's happening, man? Crazy day at Night of Champions. Oh, man. It's been a crazy day.
Yes, sir. It has been crazy. And we're gonna go ahead and kick this thing off because it was an interesting night. And we're gonna start. I'm gonna pat myself on the back, toot my horn a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Sami Zayn is your new undisputed WWE champion. He got the title with his Syrian outfit on in Riyadh.
Absolutely.
So, what'd you think? So,
Man, I'm happy for Sami Zayn, right? I know there's been a lot of Sami Zayn fatigue out there. And to be honest, I was one of those ones. I was like, there's no way Sammy's winning this tonight. It just didn't make sense to me, except if Jay had won King of the Ring, which he didn't. So now I'm like, huh. But you know what? It's deserved. This guy has been a workhorse in WWE since he's been here. And now I think that makes him, what do you call that? A Triple Crown champion. He's won the U.S. title. He's won the Intercontinental title. He's won the tag titles. And now he's won the undisputed heavyweight championship of WWE. So congrats to Sami Zayn.
well, he needs the
Allahu
world heavyweight
Akbar.
title.
God is great, and good for him.
Well, he needs that world heavyweight title. He's missing that.
Yeah.
But in looking at that match, everybody worked a little bit heelish, but they did what I thought they was gonna do. I didn't know it was gonna come down. Well, I think they did two finishes in one, actually. You can remember
Mm-hmm.
both of these. Remember I said he became the Jericho in this Cody and Gunther feud. He became Chris Jericho.
Very true.
And
Very true.
and a nod to the Brit. I think they did a nod to the British Bulldog and Bret Hart in Wembley of how that match ended. You remember how Bret Hart and Bulldog went?
Man, it's been a long time. I think Bret Hart won that match, if I'm correct, right? Or no,
Nope.
British Bulldog won because he was at home and they put on a hell of a match. I remember that. I need to go rewatch that match again. It's been a long time, but I remember that being a really good match.
Yep, it was a roll up in the middle of the ring. He reversed the roll up, Bulldog did, and rolled Bret up and folded Bret up.
Yeah.
And the look on Bret's face was the same look Cody had on his. Like, wait, what? Cody sold that very well.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? He just caught it? Nope, no crossroads, no haluva kick. Even though you had a dual crossroads in that match, near the ending sequence, you had a Gunther choke in the ending sequence. And yeah, Bubba. and the crowd was hot for Sammy from when he walked out to when he won the title. They was like, "Yep."
Yeah,
So now, so now that's gonna open up a whole lot of possibilities for that match right
absolutely.
there.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was I saw the first half of it and then I had to go. And I didn't know this on ESPN, but after the live feed stops, you can't watch it for another 24 hours till the next day. Because I had it paused and I was trying to go back in and finish watching and it wouldn't let me. So it says next time you can watch it is 8 a.m. tomorrow. I'm like, oh man. So I had to go on YouTube to see the finish. And you kind of spoiled it for me, bro. Honestly, I didn't know how you got that information that Sammy won because I was watching it live when you sent that text and the match wasn't over. I'm like, how did he know? um, but yeah, man, I was like, I was shocked and I was pleasantly surprised because, man, Sammy deserves it. He's a big hero over there. People love him because he's a devout Muslim and he's of Syrian descent. And I know for a long time the Syrian government and the was the the Saudi government or whatever, they had beef and they squashed their beef, and so Sammy was allowed to come in and just kind of represent um, Muslims as a whole, and that was cool, man. I was really happy. Like we've seen Gunther win, we've seen Cody win multiple times. It was time for a change, and I was pleasantly surprised. I'm wondering if this is going to change his heel status because he was cheered so loudly in Riyadh. I'm wondering what it's going to be like when he gets back to the U.S. If they're gonna, if the U.S. crowd's going to boo the shit out of him, But I guess we'll find out.
Most likely, and I don't think. Well, there is something that happened after that, after the match. Now you remember we said this round 2, 3, or 1, maybe even. Gunther and Nick Aldis also had an altercation in the backstage area.
I didn't see that.
It was a post show, and let's just say Gunther told him, "You want to be like me? You wish you could, because he used to wrestle." Pushed him. They pushed each other. I was like, "Yep, this has been coming around for a long time."
Are we going to see Nick Aldis put his
Back in the,
tights on?
I think he's Gunther. I think Gunther seems to be everybody's old school choice, but I believe so. So
Hmm.
we might. I don't know if we get Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. I don't know if we get him at WrestleMania.
Man, we'll find out. That's exciting. I didn't know that. I
I'm
didn't
thinking
know that at all.
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I'm thinking if they're gonna waste this, Nick Aldis gonna get his WrestleMania moment with Gunther. If I'm
yeah.
Hopefully they can stretch it out that long, but that's just something to keep an eye on because they did do that tonight.
Why did he? He's like, is he considered semi-retired or is he considered fully retired? Because I remember him wrestling was in TNA under a different name. Um, but I don't recall him ever wrestling in WWE.
Nah, because he was Max's, I believe, in TNA.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah.
believe he was
So
Max's. TNA. So
cool.
you might get now. I'm gonna go to the next match that you probably expect me to go to, but you sent it to me, and it's your boy himself. You are cursed. Liv Morgan and Io Sky.
Oh man, I swear I just gave away the whole. He buried the lead. He cursed her right as she walked out. I'm like, well, we already know who's winning. And I knew EO was gonna win. I did not want to see Liv win this match. And when he cursed her, I'm like, oh well, there we go. I don't even know if I should be. Oh, sorry, it's been a long day. I don't even know if I should watch this match, but I did, and Liv Morgan Morgan lost. And I want to say, like I was watching EO wrestle, and I'm like, okay, so I'm a big Jim Cornette fan, right? But one thing I disagree a lot with him about is he doesn't like EO Sky. And I don't get it because that girl is such a good technical wrestler. She's amazing. She's athletic. I think it's because she's short and he probably doesn't like the fact that English isn't her first language or whatever. But I'm just like I was just in awe of her, man. That girl makes anything look good. And Liv Morgan in her own right, she's she's very entertaining, right? And she's really carved a niche out for herself, especially with Judgment Day and everything. She's been a really good heel. I remember her in Riot Squad when she had the Harley, what you call it, the Harley Quinn look.
Harley
You
Quinn.
know,
Yep.
yeah. And I used to think, man, that girl's fine, but I I wasn't extremely impressed with her wrestling ability. But now it's like I know Liv Morgan. They put on a good match. It was a good match. Um, and I was glad that nobody from Judgment Day came out. I'm glad that there was no interference. It was just a very clean win. It was done really well. I like how Io sold her knee, and it was like, oh man, watch. Liv's gonna be the one to break the, Danhausen's cursing record, and she's gonna win. I just had it in my head that she was gonna win, even though I wanted Io Sky to win. But man, she pulled it off, and then she called her out at the end and said, "You know what? I'm not gonna waste any time. I'll see you at SummerSlam. I want you because she just proved I could beat you." So now we're gonna have Io Sky versus Liv Morgan at SummerSlam for the title. So
Yep, that is definitely cool. Oh, sidebar. Let me backtrack one more thing. Off Sammy
okay,
before I go back.
okay,
Sammy Gunther versus Sammy in title matches. Record, I believe. Sammy has yet to lose.
2-0, 2-0. Yeah.
Just a sidebar. I forgot about that part.
Yep.
EO though, man, look, it is great to see her win. Danhausen, you fucker. You did goddamn ruin that shit. I mean that affectionately, Danhausen. You know that. Don't come curse our podcast, please. Green, what's up? Yeah, don't come curse our podcast, brother. We just started. I like you. We just got one strike against you. That's all. But we give you human monies, and you give us human monies, and
That's right.
everything will be forgiven. But I
Hey,
did not. I,
go
hmm?
ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish.
I did not like though. I actually thought it would be a little. I wanted EO to have a little suspense first. Honestly, Greeny, it's already happened. They was in Riyadh. We're going through it now, Green. So, and Sami Zayn is a champion, Green. So we're going through it now. Yeah, but I wanted her to at least have a little suspense on Monday Night Raw to think about Rhea a little bit, even though that's her best friend. But you can honestly though, in one hand, I'm glad she chose Liv because if you do Rhea versus EO based off that triple threat match at WrestleMania, yeah, you only do that shit at WrestleMania or something big, just as big to get that match off.
Oh yeah. That was an incredible match. That was the best triple threat match I ever saw.
Yes,
And
if you haven't.
I've stated that before. So
Yes, if you don't know what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is EO Sky, Rhea Ripley, and I'm always leaving out the third party, Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. I call her Mama
So,
Belair. Yo, who we
yes,
got in
sir.
the chat? Who we got in the chat? We got one person watching.
We got Brother Green in the chat. Brother Green is a wrestling fan. He's an old head like you. Yeah, I called your asshole.
That's okay. I have an album called Old Head, so it's a badge of honor because I
Yes,
wasn't
sir.
expected to make it past 18. So, I'm here.
I ain't no
All right, brother
whippersnapper.
Green, salute. Thank you for watching. For real.
But But yeah, we definitely got the EL one. Now let's get to our other one. We both were wrong, but how it went down, I'm not. I don't think you're disappointed either. Obafemi actually did beat Jey Uso with no
Yeah,
interference, straight up match. So that means Oba. I don't even think we have to answer that question. I believe Oba is going after Roman. But that match though was pretty good. Jay had a couple, hiccups in there, but Oba and them put on a good match. Oba did Oba things. That whole sleeper hole thing, like, okay, you channeling your inner Gunther, that's a heel move, brother. But he
that was.
pulled it out his ass.
I don't think he put that sleeper hole looked like spaghetti arms. It just didn't. It didn't look like he had any pressure on it at all. And then Jay had a couple super kicks to the head that were like that missed. It's like, oh, Jay connected with the super kick to Oba's head. No, it didn't. There was two of them. They didn't even come close to hitting his head. What are they talking about? I mean, it was just,
One of
you
them
know.
spears was short also.
Oh yeah. So
One of them was short too as well.
I'm like, but see, my prediction was that Brock Lesnar was going to come interfere with the match, and then Jay was going to win through that.
Me and
But
you both.
Brock Lesnar apparently was in Riyadh. Somebody told me, my homie Paul Nobleza. I want to give a shout out to Paul. He's not watching right now, but because I don't think he realized we're doing a supplemental episode today. But he told me, he said that Brock was in Riyadh, which tells me that they might have changed the finish last minute. They might have decided to change the finish because there's no way, Brock Lesnar, he likes to be in not the Saskatchewan, Canada, chopping down trees and milking cows and being a redneck and shit. So, um, ain't no way he flew out there just for the heck of it. So they obviously paid his way out there and had him set to do something, and they changed the finish. That's just my thought. So I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm never wrong. One time I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. So,
We'll
but anyway,
call we'll call it that. But yeah, if he was out there, I mean, I would like to think he was without even any inside information to go off of on this one right now. But it's a good thing they did it that way because we don't know what the SummerSlam in Minnesota is going to look like. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen at SummerSlam in Minnesota. In fact, it'd be the perfect time to do it because it'll give it out, it'll give Oba an out, and plus keep Oba strong. And if Brock Lesnar wants to do some destructive, fucked up shit, do it in Minnesota and then have a match, and then that'll be into that. Then he can get back to Roman.
I was gonna bring that up. What if he doesn't? What if Oba doesn't challenge anybody, and he just says, "I want Brock Lesnar," you know, and then maybe they're wrestling for his crown, or he says, "I'll do it if you put that crown up." Blah blah blah, whatever, you know, um, and then he says, "Okay, well, how about this stipulation?" Now, we're talking about fantasy booking here. I'll put this crown up if you put your career up. If I beat you at SummerSlam, if you beat me at in Minnesota at SummerSlam, you can be the next king of the ring. I'll give you this crown and you can challenge whoever you want. But if I beat you, you're done. Your career is over and you don't come back. And maybe something, and then he withholds his challenge for the next big pay-per-view. I don't know. It's just I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with it too heartily. You know why? The messenger could actually be Paul Heyman in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Heyman could actually intervene in that and just says, "My client, oh, SummerSlam is in Minnesota. My client wants a shot at you, and he wants a shot at you for the crown. He's the beast. You're the
The ruler.
you the ruler. So let's find out. You put
Yeah.
that crown up. Yeah, that actually sounds doable.
Yeah.
And you can't really get mad at it because you close out Brock Lesnar in Minnesota, which Brock probably will lose. And you go ahead and slide out to, let's see, SummerSlam is next. So whatever's after SummerSlam or possibly in between that, then sure. Now, the hell of a trick of this would be this if you want to get crazy with the fantasy booking. Let's just say he beats Brock Lesnar. But Brock Lesnar beats the shit out of Obafemi on his way out the door, and Obafemi disappears for a little
Mm. Okay. Give him a little time off.
maybe that gives him a little out to they can write him off a little bit, be like, hey, remember this carrot dangling. When does Oba come back and who does he choose? Maybe they could do that. Now, that's a fantasy booking for you right there as well.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I just can't. I don't. Like I think they didn't want they. I mean, I could imagine them pulling the plug on Brock, interfering as to not make uh, Oba look weak. I mean, even if he gets stuck, with a heel move, and he loses by getting screwed over, uh, that doesn't necessarily make him look weak. But something like Jey Uso beating Obafemi is just, I mean, that's the only way it's going to happen. And so I don't know if they have other plans for Jay right now or what, but yeah, whatever happens between Brock and Oba needs to happen soon. Needs to happen soon.
We'll get there, and we'll get there because this brings me to my next match. And this match is Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins defeats Braun Breaker in a steel cage match, which thought it was pretty much going to happen, but the vision might have something to do with that. But Avalanche, Avalanche, curb stomp, a pedigree in there, curb stomp, some spears in there. Brock Lesnar, I mean not Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins beats Braun Breaker. What'd you think?
To be honest, I kept falling asleep during this match. I'm not a big fan of no holds barred, no rules, garbage cans, chairs, and all that stuff. I don't know. It gets old after a while. So I was watching it, and I'm like, I saw Braun got busted open. I would always kind of get startled awake by Michael Cole saying, "Oh, a spear," or a pedigree, or this or that, or hits it, like all the. I kind of, I kept falling in and out of sleep on that match, so I wasn't too thrilled, but I was extremely disappointed that I thought. Seeing and I got most of my predictions wrong on this, and I'm usually pretty good at the predictions, but I thought that maybe Bronson Reed would be coming back because I've seen reports that he's really healthy. He's lost a lot of weight and he's on track to return soon and he's doing really good with his rehab. And so I thought maybe, because Braun Breaker came back sooner than expected. And so did Seth Rollins. So I'm like, why not Bronson Reed? That would be the perfect screw job because like everybody was saying, like, oh yeah, Paul Heyman's not there. And by the way, and I want to get, I'm going to place a bookmark on that about Paul Heyman. But then you got Austin Theory, got his clock cleaned, and then you got Logan Paul who's injured, and then you got, I mean, man, the vision is snake bit, bro. They can't stay healthy. This was supposed to be the next Evolution, the next Four Horsemen, the next NWO, OG, and I mean, like when it was like 3-4 people, um, supposed to be something major, and they're snake bit. They can't stay healthy. None of them can stay healthy. Where in the fuck is Paul Heyman? I know he kind of got, I don't know if it was kayfabe injured or what, because I saw him on a couple interviews recently, and he seemed fine. So where the fuck is Paul Heyman? He hasn't been around. So I,
I think he's been doing something to the Bronson Reed point. Reportedly, he got into a car accident after rehab and all that. Reportedly, so that might have set his rehab back a little bit. If that's reportedly he got in a car accident,
okay.
so that might have set that back. But to your Bronson Reed point, I think that's a holdover or a holdout just for a little bit longer because
Yeah.
that's gonna make that more interesting how Paul Heyman manipulates that because what does the vision go after next? Because if his Seth is out of the picture, and even Michael Cole said it on commentary, Seth can move on. He's got the vision in his rearview mirror, so excuse me,
Yeah.
that'll be very interesting to see because now I believe this Seth Rollins division thing is really done. Then is that Montez Ford Street Profits thing a one off between because of that? Or does that tell that'd be very interesting to see what does that do for Montez Ford if any residual effects from this is felt. That'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah. Facts.
But Seth winning and Triple H, you gave the pedigree. I guess you're gonna get a pedigree to somebody. Seth Rollins ain't a bad guy to bless it that they had a pedigree because nobody else asked for it. So
Yeah.
you've only
Hey,
seen Rant.
I was gonna say, speaking of Street Profits, congrats to them for winning the tag titles. That was pretty amazing, man. I was really excited for them, man. I watched that match and I was like, "What? This is crazy!" That was an exciting match, man. I really like Montez Ford, man. That dude is he's when the Street Profits do eventually break up, or if they break up, he's gonna have a great singles run. I think, man. He's very entertaining to watch. He's really good, and that's not to say Dawkins ain't any good because he's good in his own right. But you always have the star of each tag team. You look at the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty were both very talented, but Shawn Michaels went on and achieved a lot of solo success. So I see the same thing happening for Montez at some point. But yeah, that just going back 1 week to what was that I said
Yeah.
Raw. Yeah, and they won the tag titles. That was pretty incredible. So I just wanted to do a little sidebar on that when you mentioned them. I was kind of disappointed not to see them in Riyadh though. But yeah, anyway, back to what we're saying about the vision. They're just I hope I see them all at full strength here pretty soon because I was really excited to see what the vision was going to be doing as a full unit. Pause. So
Well, we'll see. We'll definitely get to see that'll come about. We're going to switch over now. Oh, well, the one I'm switching over to next is right now your girl, my girl, but Tiffany Stratton defeats Jade Cargill for the United States Championship. Uh, there's two things to this. The Chelsea Green and Jade Cargill's cronies interference. Chelsea Green and Charlotte Flair. So I believe we both might have had this Charlotte Flair Jade Cargill thing going forward
mhm.
because she cost her the match. Jade didn't look too bad. She looked pretty good. She did look pretty good. Tiffany Stratton looked like Tiffany Stratton, which is never really a bad thing when she's on. But it almost like when she's wrestling with veterans, you can see a better side of her. So her and Jade working together was pretty good. A little wonky, but Jade is Jade right now. So, but the Charlotte Flair interference and everybody interference, Tiffany Stratton won the match. Did you get a chance to see what you think?
I didn't like it. I thought it was sloppy. Uh, the way they were bumping was, ugh, I don't know. It just when a wrestler when a wrestler bumps, you hear that pop on the mat, you know,
Mm,
and there's a certain rhythm that wrestlers have when they're doing, psychology, and there's a certain rhythm they have. And the commentators are even mentioning it, that they're a little off on their timing today. And they were saying, well, Jade's not so much a technical wrestler. Um, it just, a lot of the moves kind of were just kind of flat and weird and wonky, and there wasn't a good flow to the match. Um, Again, I'll always say this: I love Jade Cargill, and the commentators also said they've seen great growth in her, and as have I. But I think when Jade's working, she needs a veteran to kind of help the flow of the match, because Jade and Tiffany they're kind of cut from the same cloth. They're athletic, but they weren't necessarily big wrestling fans growing up. They didn't grow up in the business. They just recently got involved. Jade Cargill came from AEW and was training at the Nightmare Factory and just didn't get a whole lot of training. She did the same 3, 4 moves in AEW for years. And now she's come to the WWE and she's trying to adapt to the WWE way. And it is working for her. It's just she needs a little more, or she just needs that veteran. And so I think things got really exciting. And I hate to say this part because I hate the fact that Jade has to have Meechin and BFAB come in to help spice up her matches. And then you had Chelsea Green, who I also love. I think Chelsea Green's she's an amazing human being all around. And then you had Charlotte come in, and that's, Charlotte really helped kind of, bring everything together and make it make sense and close out the match with the little baby face screw job to the heel, which I think you're right. It's going to set up I think it'll be a good match between Jade and Charlotte, because Charlotte is a vet and she's really going to help orchestrate a really good match between the two of them. But yeah, this match I just wasn't very impressed with, and I like Tiffany Stratton too. I felt when she worked with Charlotte, it was scrappy. At WrestleMania, it was very scrappy. It was rough and tumble, but it was a good match. I mean, she got her damn tooth knocked out, showed a lot of grit, right? Or chipped or something. But yeah, this match just wasn't it for me. This was, to me, in my opinion, this was the worst match of the night.
hmm.
Who else we got in
Yeah.
the chat? We got 2 people.
Oh man.
I don't know how to
Yeah.
check all that.
We'll get to that. Yeah. It was kind of watching it. It's a Jade match. But to your Charlotte Flair point, Charlotte is very old school. So Charlotte's not. You've known Charlotte to possibly lose a little bit or get a little frustrated with things not going. So I hope they work on that. Probably whatever live events they can, performance center, stuff like that. They can work on that. I think hopefully that down the line that'll be we'll see, a better version of Jade against Charlotte, and they'll bring each other together. Hopefully that works out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but the match itself, and not enough to write home about. It kind of went the way it went. Next up, Depends Boy versus Trick Williams. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait a minute. We got to give the people some context before we get into that. So I was watching the match and I saw Ricky Saints, his shorts, his trunks, the white part, it was like a white and black, and on the bottom it's part of the design. But when I was looking at it from a distance, it looked like he had a pair of Depends on underneath his wrestling shorts, and that the bottoms of it were flaring out. It looks so funny, man. And I had to text you so now people understand a little more why you called him Depends Boy. But yeah, Ricky Starks versus Trick Willie.
Oh, whoop that trick himself.
Hmm.
He got the victory tonight. Good hard fought match. Trick Williams, Ricky Saints is coming along. Being in that match. It was just a standard match to me. Didn't Lil Yachty got ejected. Trying to do little like Lil Yachty shit. So
No, 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 no. That's not what happened. Uh, uh, Saints pulled Eddie Guerrero, lie, cheat, and steal. He
oh
took
yeah
that
yeah yeah
silver kendo stick and hit the stairs, and then threw it at Yachty. Landed on the ground. The referee saw it in Yachty's hand, and he says, "You're out of here." And he's like, "I didn't do anything,"
yeah
And
my fault.
so,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
I'm blending two things
I,
together.
I put in my notes. Is Lil Yachty not doing music anymore? Is this his thing, being like Trick's manager, or because like I know people that don't even know Lil Yachty does music. They're like, "Who's Lil Yachty?" I'm like, Lil Boat, one of the worst rappers of all time. I can't stand. 'Cause
Wow.
I'm a boom bap fan, bro. I man, I ever since the double XL freshman thing when he was on there and he did some goofy freestyle and it just was terrible. I've never been a fan of his, but I will say, as Trick Williams manager, or what do you call it, a hype man or whatever, I like it. I like the dynamic they have. So shout out to Lil Yachty. Not my favorite rapper, but he's growing on me as a personality. So
Yeah, yeah. He's still annoying. He feels annoying as fuck, but
yeah,
he would have been an annoying, even a more annoying fucker if Trick Williams was a heel. But
yeah,
the crowd. This is an instance of the crowd saying, "Nah, we don't want him as a heel. We want him as a babyface." So
yeah,
I might as well switch that shit over.
yeah.
But the match itself wasn't bad though. Like I
Oh,
said, I missed that part. I might have been in. I was looking at other stuff and then kind of blended two things together. But
I just want to say real quick, I'm not the biggest Ricky Saints fan. I kind of liked him in AEW when he was what was his name,
Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks. Yeah, I kind of liked him, but he always remind. And I've said this the last episode. You remind me of like a Timu Rock. And here in WWE, just feels kind of cringe to me. I don't know what it is about him. He's just kind of rubbing me the wrong way. But this was a good match. I like this match. So
Yeah, but they were fitted in, slotted in where they needed to be slotted in because after all the stuff that went down in this afternoon, I keep saying tonight, but it's this afternoon. Yeah, they were slotted where they need to be and kind of got it done as fast as they could.
sure.
But overall, the what do you think of Night of Champions as a whole?
I think it was better than the last PLE. Um, what was the last PLE? I'm trying to remember.
Was that Clash in Italy?
Yeah, Clash in Italy. I thought it was better in Clash in Italy. Um, I kind of felt some of the matches went a little too long, and it was like, maybe you should have closed that out sooner. But overall, so let's see. We had Ova versus Jay. We had the three-way with Sammy Gunther and Cody. We had Jade versus Tippy Time. We had Lil Yachty versus Lil Yachty. Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. What was the fifth one? There was a fifth match, wasn't there? Is there a match we're missing?
EO, and
Oh,
Liv.
yo, yeah, yeah. Um, I would say I'd give it probably about a B minus. I okay. I'm gonna go on a little rant here. I am like the commercials. Like I'm paying all this money for ESPN so I can watch the PLEs, and I got to watch commercials. I'm already paying $40 a month for this. Like, why am I watching commercials? Um, all the ads on the mat and the table, and now you can buy your name to be put on the ring, which they're so small you can't even see it from the hard cam angle. You have to really zoom in to see. I don't know if you missed that part, but it's just all that stuff is such a distraction. They just do all this talking. It's 5 matches for uh, a 3-hour pay-per-view plus the pre-show and the post-show. It's just a bunch of fluff and commercials and ads, and so it kind of makes it hard for me to really get into it and enjoy it, because like, I want to watch the next match. I don't want to have to wait 20 minutes of why I should come to uh Riyadh on vacation, Riyadh season, or whatever they do it, or you know talking about this event or WWE club, or buy this and get this access. I don't care about all that. I want to watch wrestling. That's just me. I know it's just the way of the world. I get it. So it just, I don't know, all that stuff's kind of a distraction, makes it hard for me to watch. But so for 5 matches, it was cool. It was cool. I definitely think like I said, the Jade Tiffany Stratton match was my least favorite. I would say the one that I liked the most was the Oba Femi and Jey Uso match. I'm big Oba Femi, Mark. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really like Oba Femi. That dude, he reminds me of just an old school monster wrestler. Like, I would say a Goldberg. Goldberg. That dude only had like 2 moves. I'm sure that I've seen Oba in NXT, and he has more than 2 moves, but he just comes and he whoops ass and he leaves, and I like that. I'm like, he marches to the ring, and it's about to be some shit. So that was my favorite match of the night. I
You know what
wanted.
I'm gonna? I ain't mean to cut you off. You know what I'm gonna call him?
Mm,
And I don't know if this is applicable, but it just popped in my damn head. You know what I call Obafemi now?
uh,
He's a Nigerian Bane.
there we go. Breaking backs.
I'm talking about Christopher Nolan's Bane too.
Okay.
He's a Nigerian Bane because if you ever heard him cut a promo with Paul Heyman and he's talking calm and all that, that's what I call it. That's what I named for him, Nigerian Bane.
Okay.
Hopefully he's Nigerian. I'm not wrong or something, but yeah, that's my name for him.
Yeah, I think it's Nigerian. So
I'm hoping. I'm like, yeah, Nigerian
somebody
Bane.
somebody said his accent is fake. I don't know if that's true or not, but um,
A
he's
little
very
embellished.
yeah, he's very exciting to watch. I enjoy his matches. Um, I like those kind of wrestlers. I always have. I like big men wrestlers who are monster heels. I love that stuff. It's like Psycho Sid was one of my favorite wrestlers. You know, at one point, Diesel, Undertaker, Goldberg. I loved Goldberg, but I also like the technical side of wrestling too. I like the Bret Harts and the Shawn Michaels, and the chat, even today, the Chad Gables, the Kurt Angles. But just, we need like they tried it with Omos. Remember Omos?
Yep.
Uh, they tried it with him, and it just wasn't working. He'd pick people up and he'd kind of drop them, and they'd flop on the ground. He just wasn't very good, but he's doing his thing over in AAA. So shout out to
That
Omos.
was a Vince McMahon push.
Yeah, definitely. And
That was a Vince McMahon push. That
it
didn't
just
work out.
didn't
I'm
work.
sorry. When you had to put a guy with AJ Styles, and AJ Styles can make a goddamn broomstick, a mop,
Yeah,
a 60-year-old grandmama, and a crackhead off the street want a crack vendor look good in the
yeah,
goddamn wrestling.
yep. So, and Oba's not Omos. Somebody was trying to tell me, "Oh, I'd love to see Omos and Oba Femi." I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't." I wouldn't mind seeing Oba versus Gunther at some point. That would be great. But yeah, that was my favorite match of the night, for real. What was your favorite match?
The one I was right about.
Oh, the triple threat.
Nah, I like the Oba versus Jacob match myself too, but the triple threat match had a little something to it. Gunther like Gunther does, the way he works and how he works, how he talks, how he's methodical. Yeah, best heel we got going right now. WWE
Yeah,
best heel.
I see. You know what's funny is I see people online. They say he's boring. I said, "Are you stupid?" Like he is like a classic brutish heel. That's the definition of a heel wrestler right there. You know, the German, um, the big German guy is real tough. He'll smack the shit out of you and choke you out. And he's a good wrestler. He's got really good in ring psychology. His promos are great. I love Gunther. I just didn't want to see him win tonight because him or Cody, because I'm just kind of this is kind of getting tired. But yeah, I love Gunther. He's great
Well,
wrestler.
what people don't remember is when he was Walter, he was Fat and Walter, all the
Yeah,
shit he did on the indies.
yeah,
And when he was Walter, he was a bad motherfucker. I'm
yeah,
sorry. For context, if you don't believe me, Google Keith Lee versus Gunther. I mean, versus Walter, and spell it like Walter. But you put Keith Lee in versus Walter, you kind of see what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah.
But
I know what you're talking about.
he has just slowed it down to a point where less is more. But when I gotta do more, I will. But he works that way. He feels it out and he sees it. He won't be sped up. You're not gonna speed him up. That's the part about being a great heel. You don't speed him up. When you speed him up, that's like in the ring. In ring, you speed him up, then that's a in ring psychology tactic to speed up. You know, a heel.
Yeah,
But if you just let them be a heel and let them be slow paced, then that's to their advantage from a television wrestling psychology's perspective.
yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you. Speaking of Gunther, and his former personality, what do you think? And I don't know if we talked about this last week, but what are your thoughts on Mason Rook?
Mm.
Have you seen him wrestle?
NXT, a little bit, yeah. I've been keeping it. I've been catching him a little bit. Some of the highlights of him, but I hadn't sat down with him yet.
I'm This guy's what? He's like 300 plus pounds, right? And he's doing acrobatic
Yeah,
aerial moves.
he's about 285.
Oh,
Well, you know how they say 300 pounds, but I don't
okay,
believe he's 300 pounds.
but
Not
but
now.
he's a big guy, and
Yeah,
he's doing these acrobatic moves. I saw the match with who's Io's husband? What's his name?
EO's husband.
Yeah, in real life, she just got married to him. I can't remember his name. Japanese wrestler. He wrestled Mason Rook. Just
Oh, I can't think
yeah,
of that guy's. I can't think. I didn't know that was EO's husband, but I can't think of his damn name.
yeah, they got married. I can't remember his name. But Mason did this thing where he gets on the top rope and then he does a flip swanton bomb, and he's expecting everybody to catch him, and I saw people getting out of the way because this dude is too heavy to be doing those kind of moves. That was dangerous because they had all these security guards out there, and we're like, why is there all these security guards out here? Like it was just looked obvious that there was going to be a reason why they're out there, besides stopping him from doing something, because he's supposed to be portraying a fan from the crowd who's coming out to wrestle and blah blah blah. But he's doing all these technical moves, and then I look at his face, and he's got a baby face. He looks like Chaz Bono, like Sonny and Cher's daughter, son, whatever.
Oh
Uh,
shit!
I mean, he looked like Chaz Bono. He's not intimidating looking. He's not scary. His
No,
promos
he's
are heat,
not.
and I'm like, he needs a manager. He needs a good manager to speak for him. He needs to change his look up because I guess he used to have a mullet and he cut it off, and now it's kind of like Hulk
Yeah, he
type
did.
looking. It looks really
Yeah, he did.
weird. I'm not doubting that the kid can wrestle. I just wasn't that impressed with him. But people are trying to make comparisons to Gunther's old. Um, damn, I'm so tired. What was Gunther's old name?
Walter.
Walter. Yeah, people are trying to compare Mason Rook to Walter, and I'm like, no, no, no.
Nah, it's not that. It's just hmm. Paul Heyman said something interesting. They did, and he actually said this in an interview, which kind of makes sense to Mason Rook. You remember how they were building up that they signed Mason Rook every
Yeah,
week? They had an update for Mason Rook. Like I
yeah,
remember all the updates and all that. They had all this updates, so you were just looking at them every week, like Mason Rook. And then when you saw him, if you were new or whatever, then that's the thing that it was.
yeah.
Go ahead, Green. Shoot your question out, bro.
And while he's shooting the question, I'm going to say this. And also, Mason Rook lost that match. After all this hype they were doing to hype him up, he lost to Io Sky's husband.
He was
Whatever the
supposed
fuck.
to.
Yeah, it's just you built him up to be this big badass motherfucker, and he loses first match. I'm just like, okay. Anyway, so we got a question.
Yep. Green's
Mm,
question is, who's the first wrestler you ever seen in person or just on TV? Would be my question. And what wrestler made you watch wrestling?
okay, you want me to start?
Go ahead.
Okay, so and I might have talked about this before, but when I lived in Kansas City, Missouri, my dad was a concessionaire. He owned his own business. So anytime the circus, concerts, basketball, baseball, football, rodeo, any of that stuff came to town, you go through my dad to get to sell your merch. And so the NWA was really prevalent when I lived there in '79. And Harley Race, my one of my older brothers, he's about 15 years older than me. He worked for my dad. He's my half brother, but my dad loved my brothers like they were his own kids. And my brother was working for him, and he's told me that I met Ric Flair and Harley Race when I was a little kid, and I don't remember this at all. And I had meant to, right? So apparently, I met Harley Race and Ric Flair when I was a little kid, but I don't remember it, and I don't know the validity of that. But I think the first wrestler I ever saw, like live, was um, Iron Sheik and Bob Backlund, and I remember watching that on TV and Iron Sheik beating Bob Backlund. Well, I didn't see it like on TV, but a friend of mine had like the match on a VCR, and I remember just seeing this guy, the Iron Sheik, and he's spitting all over, and back then in the early '80s, everybody was all patriotic and blah blah blah, and then in comes Hulk Hogan, like not too much later than that, and beats Iron Sheik for the WWF title. And when I was a little kid, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing! It was the best stuff I'd ever seen," and that's what really set my fandom off. Now, unfortunately, later on, I grew to despise Hulk Hogan. Um, hearing about his backstage politics, his racist comments, and how he constantly lies in all of his shoot interviews, like saying ridiculous things like Metallica wanted him to be their original bassist and he turned him down, and saying that Elvis was a huge Hulkamaniac, and Elvis died before Hulk Hogan was even a popular wrestler, like just a bunch of lies. So I grew to just really not like the guy very much. But when I was a little kid, I loved Hulk Hogan. I was like, oh my God, this guy's great. So from there, that sparked my interest, and I started watching other stuff like AWA. I started watching NWA. I started watching videotapes of anything I could. I'd read all the magazines about all these wrestlers that, I didn't have access to. So, but yeah, that answers my question. What about you, Phantom?
Uh, First wrestler I ever remember seeing probably is Hulk Hogan. Yeah, it most likely is Hulk Hogan. Because that's all was on TV from where I was at the time, and I'm trying to figure out where I was. Could have been in Okinawa, could have been in Georgia at the time. I don't remember where I was. But Hulk Hogan's in there. Who made me fall in love with wrestling? Is that the question? Uh, After still watching it, Undertaker's debut, uh, saw that. Oh man, I'm going with. I know what made me fall in love with technical wrestling. I can answer it that way.
Hmm.
Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah.
Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels made me fall in love with stylistic wrestling because they wrestled each other. And it's the first time I ever watched a video package as a kid and saw them do the promos and everything. I vividly remember Shawn Michaels doing a motherfucking inverted fucking pull up.
Mm.
Remember that shit like it was just like what the fuck he's doing like inverted pull ups and shit
Are you talking about on
upside down.
the rope?
No, on a bar, upside down pull ups. Like he's upside down, feet in the air,
Oh, okay.
and he's
Okay.
balanced doing that shit. I was like, is that ropes? Or is he really doing that shit? It was when he
Mm.
brought Jose Lothario in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that I can tell you, the first time I got scared shitless as a wrestler, I was mad as a wrestling fan and scared at the same time. You'll never guess what this was. I'll give you the person involved, one of the people
Okay.
involved, Undertaker. Now I was pissed off, end up being scared to go to bed. What match is that?
Him and
Famous.
I was gonna say not him and Kane because that would be sometime later.
80. It
Um,
was in the not early 90s.
okay, so early '90s. That would be. Boy, I want to say. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some of his matches. He had him and Kamala. He had
No,
him. Huh?
I'm very, very pissed. I'll give you another hint. It was a casket match.
Yokozuna? No, not Yokozuna.
Aha!
What was the one where he?
It's Yoke.
Oh, it was Yoko. Okay. Yeah.
This is why I was pissed off. Because all the wrestlers from the back came and jumped on Undertaker and put his ass in that casket.
Yeah.
And I was mad as shit as a kid. Like, what are they doing to Undertaker? They fucking all beating him up and putting him in the casket. I was mad as hell.
Yeah, because he was babyface at the time, right?
Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
Yoko, everybody, all the heels came and whooped his ass. Boy, I was
Yeah.
pissed off. Like, no,
Isn't that the one where it showed him like on the Titantron from inside the casket and his eyes just closed and all of a sudden his eyes opened up and he looks right at the camera and
and that's also the moment as a kid I got scared shitless when I went to sleep because that shit was in my head so bad.
your hero was scared the shit out of you. That's crazy, bro.
That shit scared the shit out of me once I went to sleep. I had a dream about that shit the same night. Looked up and thought I saw Undertaker in the corner and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, don't judge me. Ladies and gentlemen, don't judge me. I was a kid. Don't judge me.
No judgment. Hey, real quick, I wanted to ask because I know we're getting close to being done here. On SmackDown, Solo, the MFTs left Solo, and Solo helped LA Knight, and he tried to join forces with LA Knight, and LA Knight declined. I just want to know what your thoughts are about Solo being Solo, and do you think this is going to play into him rejoining the bloodline, or what's gonna, or the MFT is gonna join, or what's going on? I don't know. I was a little shame. I was a little embarrassed by it. I'm not embarrassed. Confused. Excuse me. I was a little
Okay.
confused about that.
Hold on. Let me sidebar. Let me answer Green's question. Green said his first role he saw on TV was Tommy Wildfire Rich, and who made him fall in love with wrestling was Tony Atlas, USA Tony Atlas, Georgia Championship Wrestling. Damn, Bobo.
Oh yes, yes. Oh my gosh. I've gone back and I've seen like Tony Atlas and some of his Georgia Championship matches. You know, during the territory days, and you know, people know him from his time in WWF with him and Rocky Johnson, which they didn't really get along with each other in real life. They hated each other, as a matter of fact. So it's good to see Tony Atlas doing some other things other than, you know, what he's known for in WWF and his weird kinks and shit. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Now to your Solo being Solo point. Part of me think that's a ruse. Part of me thinks if he is actually, if they did leave in which Tomatonga is a hell of a tag team wrestler, just been with his brother for a lot of years. But I think that's good for them. I think that's good for them to try to go on their own. Solo, this is the part that is going to be very interesting because I believe Solo and Jace tie close together than Solo and Roman.
Okay.
And I think that because Jay's been heelish and Solo just is his little brother, first off.
Yeah.
And I believe something like that could happen because I believe Jacob's gonna fight Jay at some point.
Okay.
So this is gonna be one of those things. And the part about it that makes it spark it off to me is Jacob's gonna fight Obafemi at some point in time. And
Mm,
Jacob could possibly beat Obafemi. And that could be some shit to rub in Jay's face.
that's gonna be a good match. Oof. Jacob and Nova, that'd be a great match. For real. So that's an unstoppable force and an immovable object, you know? So,
And Jacob moves in a way that where Jacob can work strongman-ish with Oba, but he's also very much athletic enough to where
yeah.
he might bring something out of Oba we may have never seen from Oba just
Right.
because of the way that is, the way they work, the way they have been working.
Yeah.
So that's
And
something to keep your eye on. But I think Solo, it'll play. I think, yeah, it's something to that.
mhm.
It's
Mhm.
very much something to that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I kind of feel like, you know, when they, you know, because you know that I think they've been trying to bring Jacob in. They need somebody like Jacob in the OG bloodline for a while, and the closest they could get was Solo, right? So then when they had plans to bring Jacob in, they have Solo break off and start his own thing, and now Solo's kind of left flapping in the wind, which sucks because I liked Solo as an enforcer. I don't like him as the, you know, the little, the laughing, joking, glove wearing, red suit wearing guy. I don't like him in that aspect. I like him being a badass, and I, I don't know. I, I don't
I
know. I feel
said
bad
that
for him. I hope the Tongas don't get released because they already released Tongaloa, who he's the botch kid. That guy's the king of botches. Um, but yeah, it's just the MFT's just kind of floundering. They got in that little beef with the Wyatt Six, and then once they all got released at once, I was like, holy cow, now there's nothing for them to do. So I think it was a good thing, but I'm just curious as to what's going to happen with the future of Solo. So,
I said this then, I'm gonna repeat it now. The first time you saw Jacob Fatu's entrance, Solo, you were fucked.
oh yeah, oh yeah, I agree.
The first time he had his real entrance, I was like, they didn't do that for Solo, but holy shit, Jacob, you're fucked. I mean, Solo, you're fucked.
Yeah. Even though I like Solo's music, I like Solo's entrance music. I think it's dope. But Jacobs, oh my gosh, he's another one of those dudes, man. He's like, I get goosebumps watching this dude because he's about to fuck some shit up, And I think they kind of misused him. I thought I don't like him as a stooge, but I didn't like him as a baby face either. I like him when he's heelish, and like when he whooped Eric Andre's ass, gave him 2 splashes off the top. That was I love that because I'm Eric Andre gets on my damn nerves. So, um, he started messing with his little fella. Hey, good job there, but like, what are you doing, dude? You deserve that ass whooping. You deserved all of that, dude. So,
Yeah,
anyway,
we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, I told you we wasn't here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. And with that, I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Green, welcome back, Greeny. You know we'll be here.
who's the second person? We have a second person in the chat.
It
Trying to
might have
see
been
that.
said. Seb was in the chat earlier, so
Okay, okay. Um,
everybody who tuned in, everybody who watched Night of Champions, hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll be back with another one. So, you got anything else left before you close it out?
yeah, like I said, we're supposed to be doing one on July 4th, and I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm going to be out of town with family. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing one on the 4th, but I think we'll be back 2 weeks after that. And so I think this is going to be a good supplemental episode to have in the meantime, since we're not going to be here on the 4th, unless you decide to have a guest host. I don't know, Phantom. I'll leave that in your good hands. But I will not be here on the 4th. So
We will work something out. You never know. I might. Oh, we might could do it on the 5th. So that
yeah,
could be something.
we could do that. Do it on a Sunday for sure.
So we might give y'all one on the Sunday. So y'all
Everybody
stay tuned.
go to church and praise the Lord, and then come home and watch us.
Amen. That's how we gonna do this thing. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, for Soul the Interrogator, I am Phantom the Cook. Thank y'all for joining us on this special Night of Champions night, evening, afternoon. Y'all take care. Peace. Wrestling Bros is out. Later music.
Ladies and gentlemen, making your way